All right, everyone. So the WWE is reportedly looking at multiple AEW stars whose contracts are near expiration. A new report reveals the contract status of several AEW stars, indicating major WWE interest in these talents. BodySlam.net is reporting that WWE has significant interest in Dan Hawson and Private Party Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, whose AEW contracts are expiring soon. According to backstage sources, movement could happen sooner rather than later. This confirms an earlier report that Dan Hawson's AEW deal expires in July, and WWE had preliminary interest in Private Party. Other AEW contracts expiring soon include Chris Jericho at the end of the year and Renee Paquette, Matt Menhard, and Angelo Parker in August. Meanwhile, John Moxley's contract is locked in through 2027. The former Dean Ambrose is among the highest paid stars on AEW's roster. So, to be honest, I don't watch a ton of AEW. That's why we don't cover it all that much on this channel. So I'm not even all that familiar with some of the people that are mentioned in this story. But the reason I wanted to do it was because it is stunning to me. It really is stunning to me the position that the WWE is currently in, where we talk about some of the layoffs we've seen in the cuts and people not being brought back, and it's because WWE there is just nothing like it at this point. And I know obviously they've been dominant for quite some time, right? I'm not saying that they haven't been this dominant for quite some time, but I don't think the level of talent in wrestling has always been as high as it is right now, and WWE basically letting go of people that I would like. Think about R-Truth. I mean, R-Truth was a guy that was really over with the fans. How many other eras in history would you see somebody as over as R-Truth was with the fans, and he was on the chopping block to get cut? I mean, it's pretty crazy when you think about it and you see a lot of it, and now you can understand why. Because all of these AEW stars, sure, maybe they like AEW, but as soon as their contracts come up, WWE, once the star is being built and there's excitement behind it, they just got Mariah May, who I know is now changing her name in WWE, but it's pretty crazy. It really is pretty crazy the type of dominance that they have, and it really shows the uphill battle that something like AEW has to win. Because for them to win, you're dealing with a company obviously in WWE that's worth so much. It has such an advantage in terms of notoriety and all of that kind of stuff. And how do you even build storylines in a roster when WWE can just come in and and pick up as many people as they want once their contracts expire, right? I mean, it's just it really is stunning, and you feel pretty bad for a lot of these wrestlers because, like I said, it's one thing if a wrestler is like, okay, we're not going to renew your contract because the wrestler isn't that popular, isn't that over, fans don't like him or her. That's one thing, and it's not that we're excited that they don't, but it's understandable. But it's another thing when really good wrestlers, right? People that are really talented and people that the fans actually do like, when they get told that we're not going to renew your contract, like Carlito, I loved Carlito. I loved every segment that he had, and it was kind of, obviously a lot of it was comedic relief, but they letting him go, I was like, man, I mean, I didn't want to see our Truth go. We didn't want to see our Carlito go. And now there might be more additions to WWE. It's just the competition right now is stunning. And it also shows you the job that Triple H has. I mean, how do you make this all work? How do you get good storylines when you have this depth of talent on the roster? I mean, you think about guys like LA Knight, right? Someone like LA Knight who's so over with the fans and so talented. And do we see him in main event championship matches? Right? I mean, think about that. I mean, in a lot of eras, LA Knight would certainly be in the main event scene, but in this one, it's not the case. So we'll see what happens here. My guess is when you have a report like this, okay, that comes out, it almost always is setting the scene for WWE to get some of these guys, right, or girls, like whatever. This to me is, even though it's saying they potentially could, my guess is just like with Mariah May, a deal gets done because this is the similar reporting we saw before Mariah May, right, where she has interest in WWE and WWE has interest in her, and then it becomes a done deal. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.